Hey there, my friends. Brian King here. I assure you I'm not driving. I'm parked. My car is running, and I'm just getting ready to go into an appointment. But one of the things I use my drive time for is a lot of reflection, thinking about things. And one thing I've learned to do over the years, one of my main practices with the Zen Buddhism that I've been exploring for a couple decades now, is the manner in which you can let go of or become less attached to the things that cause you suffering. And one of the things that we do to ourselves on a regular basis to really ramp up our suffering is all the shoulds and shouldn'ts that we project on other people. You should treat me this way. You shouldn't have done that. You should behave in this manner. And then when you see the person or you think of the person and that story kicks in, what the majority of the suffering that you're experiencing comes from is the story. The replaying of this shouldn't have happened. You shouldn't have done that to me. You should have treated me better. And it's the reliving, the rechurning, the rebirthing, the recommitting to that story that causes so much of our suffering in the present. And what I have found, people that were close to me at one point, my ex-wife and other relatives, and friends for that matter, where when I was in a relationship with them, I created this story of should and shouldn'ts. This marriage should last forever. This marriage should be ideal. You shouldn't treat me in a certain way. And even though it's been well over a decade since I've been in a relationship with her, I would find there were times where dealing with her in the present, which in many ways is different and improved, would be muddied by the story of the past. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have behaved that way. And it isn't that she's causing me suffering in the present. It's that my recommitment to the story is causing me suffering in the present. You with me so far? So one thing you can learn, and this is not like flipping a switch, okay? One thing that you can learn, and this is a process, it takes work, is to learn to separate the person from the story. Meaning you're being very present with them. You're seeing them in that moment. You're seeing a fellow human being in their raw humanity. You're seeing a vulnerable, flawed, very imperfect person that makes mistakes, not so different from yourself. And what you're seeing in that moment is how they are showing up in the world now. You're not seeing that story that happened so long ago. You're certainly not experiencing those emotions that came along with it, unless you're reliving that story. If you can train yourself to be present with this person right here and right now, and only see them as the person that is co-creating with you in that moment, and don't give that story an opportunity to show up and be fed, then where is their anger? Where is their hurt to be had? Because those things are not being given any kind of oxygen. Now, of course, many of you watching are going to say easier said than done. I don't claim for one moment that any part of this is easy. It's work, but it's extraordinarily liberating when you can do it. Now, is this a state that once you find it, you're always there? Of course not. You kind of slip in and out of it. There are moments where we are tired. We are less resourceful than in other moments. And these things slip back in and we start having those feelings again. But another part of this ability is to remind yourself that, hey, this is a story. This is me reliving this concoction of shoulds and shouldn'ts that I came up with. My attachment to beliefs that I found to be untrue. Beliefs of this should be permanent, this should last forever, only to find out that none of it was. My anger is more along the lines of my beliefs were shattered, and my experience with this person is what did the shattering. So it was my attachment to those beliefs that were as big a cause of my suffering as the person that proved those beliefs wrong. You follow me? I chose the beliefs that I became attached to. So there's two culprits there, and I bear partial responsibility. I chose the beliefs that I projected on someone else. This person proved those beliefs wrong, but instead of taking responsibility for my attachment, I instead projected all on that person. You're evil, you're a villain, whatever. But at the end of it, it's still a story I created. So when you can learn to separate the person from the story, what you end up with is the capacity to see humanity all around you. People that are doing their best, people that are struggling, people that are vulnerable, some people that are kidding themselves, some people that are more aware, but they're all just trying to find their way. And the more you can just witness it, you're just seeing another human being just trying to figure it all out, regardless of whatever story you throw upon it. Let the story lie. Just be present with that person, and you'll find that there's little room or need for anger, sadness, resentment, or whatever else you could churn up. So that's just my thoughts on this morning. I'm going to go into my appointment now. I hope this has been helpful. Please give me some comments, some likes, some shares. If you're watching the replay of this, please put hashtag